presentation from Tattvavāda or Dvaita perspective. We have with us Dr. Arjun SR. So Arjun Mahadeva will be speaking on comparative analysis of Tattvavāda and other Darśanas on Brahmavidyā. So just a brief introduction. Dr. Arjun is Assistant Professor at the Department of Liberal Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences in MAHE, that is Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Bangalore campus. He is basically from Srirangpatna, Karnataka. He studied in Purnaprajna Vidyapita Gurukula in Bangalore for 12 years and has received 2 MA degrees in Sanskrit and Navyanyaya respectively. He is a gold medalist in MA Navyanyaya. He completed his PhD under the guidance of renowned computational linguist Professor Amba Kulkarni from Hyderabad Central University. His academic interests in Sanskrit lies in Sanskrit computational linguistics, Indian philosophy, Indian knowledge systems, Sanskrit language and literature, Itihasa and translation studies. He has many publications to his credit and actively working on 3 international projects on different fields like Mahabharata, IKS and language technology. And he is proud to say that he is one of the disciples of Padmavibhushana Parampujya Shri Visheshwar Tirtha Swamiji of Pejavar Math, Udupi. Again, welcome Dr. Arjun. You can go ahead with the session.
Yeah. Dhanyawada Nitin Mahodaya. Okay. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Narayanaya Paripurna Gunarnavaya Vishwodaya Sthiti Layon Niyati Pradaya Jnana Pradaya Vibhudhasura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vitataya Namo Namaste Abhramam Bhangarhitam Ajadam Vimalam Sada Anandatirthamatulam Bhaje Tapatrayapaham Tapaswadhyaya Shushusha Krishna Puja Ratam Munim Vishvesham Ishtadam Vande Paribrat Chakravartinam Apadamoli Paryantam Gurunam Akritim Smare Tena Vignaha Pranashyanti Siddhyanti Cha Manoratah. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. I express my sincere pranamas to all the senior scholars who are present here, Acharya Korodaji and many M. Alwarji and many other scholars, even Madhusudan Pennaji also delivered his lecture. So I express my sincere pranamas to all the stalwarts in the field of Indian knowledge system, and also I express my sincere pranamas to all the panelists who are present here, including my very good friend Shivasenaniji, and all the audience also. And I also thank INDICA Academy for giving me this opportunity to share my limited knowledge learned from the many great teachers throughout my journey of Gurukula. Now, let me put forward the Dvaita thoughts on Brahma Vidya or Brahma, mainly from Madhva Bhashya. Later, I will try to do little comparative analysis, as mentioned in the title, with other Darśanas based on how the time permits. Okay, so Dvaita, also known as Tattvavāda, is one of the prominent Darśanas among many great Darśanas which we are familiar with. For the benefit of people who are not familiar with the Madhva's Dvaita philosophy, or who are listening to this particular Darshana for the first time, for their benefit, I'm reciting one particular verse which will give an idea about whole Madhva Darshana. Shriman Madhvamate Hari Parataraha Satyam Jagat Tattvataha Bhedo Jivaganaha Harehe Anucharaha Nichocha Bhavam Gataha Muktihi Naija Sukhanubhuti Ramala Bhaktischa Tatsadhanam Hyakshadit Tritayam Pramanamakilam Nayika Vedyo Harihi. I can explain this, but maybe at a different occasion. Now, let us focus more on the topic which is selected by, which is chosen for today's discussion. We all know this Madhva Parampara, Dvaita Shastra, is started by Acharya Madhva, by his unique thoughts. And the Parampara is continued by renowned Acharyas like Jayatirtharu or Vyasarajaru, Raghavendra Swamigalu, even Vadirajaru, and many other great scholars have contributed to this particular tradition. And one thing I also bring to all your notice that Dvaita Darshana, commonly translated as or loosely translated as realism by many people, which is not, I mean, we can't limit to that, because translation of such terms must not be done from a particular point of view or in a general manner, because let it be called as Dvaita or Tattvavāda. Tattvavāda is the name given by the Acharya Madhva himself. So that terms must be used as it is. The translation always, takes away the original in-depth concept which is inherited in that. Anyway, let me get to the point. What is Brahmavidyā? Brahmavidyā, as mentioned in the Mundaka Upanishad, Ve Vidye Veditavye, Para Aparacheti, and so on. So in that, the Para Vidya is what Brahmavidyā explained in Acharya Madhva's philosophy. Or to put it in a different way, Akshara Prapti is what Brahmavidyā according to Madhvacharya. What is Akshara? Akshara means whichever doesn't have a Kshara, Nasha, is what Akshara, which means Parabrahma, which means Moksha Prapti. Aparavidya is what the Chaturdasha Vidyastanas, which includes the Veda, Yajurveda, all four Vedas and Vedangas and Upangas as well. So all these Aparavidyas are considered very important to get the Paravidya, which is Brahmavidya. So, okay, to Brahma Vidya, there are two words. What is Brahma? What is Vidya? If we know, as explained by Acharya Madhva, if we know the Brahma as explained by Madhvacharya is what Brahmavidya. It is the way. It is the we can get the moksha by knowing about the Brahman. What is Brahma? Now, is it talking about Brahma? The word Brahma is not referring to the Chaturmukha Brahma. Why? I will come to that at a later stage. Brahma is defined in a very beautiful manner in Acharya Madhva's philosophy. The Brahma is Jnana Anandadi Guna Paripurna, and he is Sarvadosha Vivarjita. And it explained in many different ways. This particular explanation is given in the first Mangalacharana shloka of Brahmasutra Bhashya of Madhvacharya. Narayanam Gunais Sarvaihi Udirnam Dosha Varchitam Jnayam Gamyam Gurum Shapinatva Sutrartha Uchate is what the Mangala shloka of Madhvacharya. In that, he says, Narayanam Gunaihi Sarvaihi, Sarva Gunaihi Paripurnam Udirnam Narayanam Evam Sarva Dosha Vivarjitam. He doesn't have any kind of dosha attached to him, like how we are attached to it. Anyway, so such Brahma has to be understood. We have to do the upasana of such Brahma. The Brahma is not referred to Chaturmukha Brahma. It is referred to Vishnu, Narayana. How? That's what Acharya Madhva continues by explaining in his Bhashya. Brahma Ṣaḍdarśanas Vishnaveva. If I take up the commentary of the commentary or the Tika and Tippani of the Bhashya, the elaboration, the details are much more in that. I'm not going into that. I'm just referring to the Bhashya and discussing with you all. So, Brahma Shabdascha Vishnaveva. In Vishnu only, the Brahma, the word Brahma can be referred to. Okay, Acharya Madhva said. So, if Acharya Madhva says, we have to agree it. Is it so? No. He himself quotes from different sources why the Brahma Shabda is referred to Vishnu. Madhva quotes many references from Mahanarayana Upanishad, which goes like this. Yamantas samudre kavayo vayanti tadakshare parame prajaha yata prasuta jagata prasuti toena jivan vyasarcha bhumyam. And also he adds tadevartham tadu satyamahus tadeva brahma paramam kavinam, and so on and so forth. He quotes the Mahanarayana Upanishad, he quotes the Rig Samhita, he quotes the Bhallaveya Shruti, he quotes Skanda Purana, and he also quotes Harivamsha to strongly highlight the meaning of the word Brahma refers to Vishnu only. And if we are interested in moksha, we have to do the upasana of Vishnu. So this reference system is completely amazing. Whenever Acharya Madhva says something, he will be ready with one or the other quote from, like it can be from, he always refers to different texts from Vedas to Puranas to Bhagavata to support his view, whatever he is proposing. So, and also to know Parabrahma is the way, the main path to attain the Brahmavidyā. Brahma has to be known as separated from the Jivatma and also from Jada Prakriti. So the concept of Panchabheda plays an important role here. There are 5 types of Vedas which are presented in Acharya Madhva's philosophy, which is Jiva Jiva Veda, Jiva Jada Veda, Jada Jada Veda, Paramatma and Jiva Veda, and Paramatma and Jada Veda. So these 5 Vedas are very important. We have to know, of course, he only created this whole world, but it evolved, the world evolved from him by his, just by a thought, all these Srishti Kriya happened. This is how the, Srishti Kriya is explained in different texts, but he himself transformed it also seems like he himself transformed into this world. But no, there is a complete different difference between the Jada Prakriti and Paramatma, where he is in the Jada Prakriti giving, he is the power which making this world run on its own. So he is the Prerana Shakti. He's giving all the power to that particular Jada to work on its own. That's how he is. He has the control over the Jada Prakriti. And also there is a clear distinction between Paramatma and Jiva. The Acharya Madhva interestingly explains the Acharya Madhva's unique thought is the Bimba Pratibimba Bhava. It is what explained by Acharya Madhva, and the same concept is explained in Adhisthana Aropya Bhava in Advaita Vedanta and Sharira Shariri Bhava in Vishishtadvaita, if I'm not wrong. So Bimba Pratibimba Bhava, Bimba Pratibimba relation between Paramatma and Jiva is very important in Madhva's tradition. In the process of understanding Brahman, which is Vishnu, which is Paramatma, this Bheda between Jiva and Brahma is also very important. So Bimba and Pratibimba, it is like original and the reflection, original and the shadow. So both are very well connected, both are similar in many ways, but there is a clear distinction between them. So I can, if time permits, I can explain that in at a later time. But so this 5 types of Vedas, even among the jivas also, there is a particular difference. So, but there is one famous Shruti, which is Mahavakya, which is Tattvamasi. So Tat Tvam Asi, that you are, which means Paramatma and you are equal. So it seems there is a contradiction for this Bheda Vakya, right? What the Bheda concept which is proposed by Acharya Madhva. But the interpretation of that Mahavakya is done in a little different way, which is Tadvat Tvamasi. You are like him, which means the Swarupa of Jiva, Swarupa of Paramatma, both are same. Jnana Anandadi Swarupa is the Swarupa of Jiva also. But because of the avidya, he is unknown. The jiva is unknown about the particular swarupa, and there is a limitation to each and every jiva. Like the famous example given by my teachers are like water is the jnana anandadi, and if we pour a water in a glass, it will be of that quantity. If we pour it in a big vessel, that will be of that quantity. In the case of Paramatma, that is countless. It's infinite. Okay. So this tumbler and the big vessel can be the difference between different jivatmas. This is how the concept, this jiva swarupa, the bheda concept is explained. And this is also very important to get the Brahmavidyā, which is highlighted by Acharya Madhva. Okay. Now, how to attain this Brahma? Acharya Madhva highlights in his Bhashya is Shravanam Mananam Chaiva Dhyanam Bhaktis Tathaiva Cha Sadhanam Jnana Sampatto Pradhanam Nanya Dishyate. He give, and this is not, it is in Brahma Sutra Bhashya of Acharya Madhva as part of his words, but he says Iti Naradiye. In Naradiya, Narada Purana, or maybe there is a particular I think it's Narada Purana only. So he is quoting the Purana Vakya to say how to attain the Jnana Sampatti. Sadhanam Jnana Sampatto Pradhanam Na Anya Dishyate. Shravanam Mananam Dhyanam Bhakti. So bhakti is given very important role. Even Shravanam Mananam is interpreted in many different ways. Like how we are supposed to do the karma marga is also important. Dhyana marga is also important. All these margas, different yogas, upayas are given importance. In Acharya Madhva's tradition, we can see the concept of Vishesha, Sakshi are notable intellectual insights we can see in by Acharya Madhva on these concepts. And also Pramana, the means of knowledge, what if I can translate it into English, the Pramana is also very essential to get the Brahmavidyā. So in that, Pratyaksha, Anumana and Agama are the 3 Pramanas accepted by the Dvaita tradition. In that, Agama Pramana is very most prominent one, and Shruti, the Vedas are the plays an important role, and Shruti Apurushetva, the Apurushetva concept associated with the Shruti is highly discussed in Acharya's tradition. So, knowing such Brahman, who is Sakala Guna Parimpurna, Sakala Dosha Vivarjita, and there is a bheda between Jada Prakriti and Jiva, the many other Jivas, all these, such Brahman is, we must do the upasana of such Brahman to attain the moksha. This is the path, the moksha. To get the Brahmavidyā, we have to know Brahman in this kind of in this particular way. So now let us look into other darshanas. It is briefly discussed in Shastra Unitwadhikarana while it is defining what is Shastra by Acharya Madhva. He quotes the Skanda Purana again. Rugyajus Samatharvascha Bharatam Pancharatrakam Mula Ramayanam Chaiva Shastramityabhidiyate Yachanukulam Etasya Tacha Shastram Prakirtitam Atonyo Grantha Vistaru Naiva Shastram Kuvartma Tat. He says whatever is the Rug, Yaju, Sama, Atharva, Bharata means Mahabharata, Pancharatra, and Mula Ramayana. These are the texts which can be considered as Shastra. Okay, what is the definition of Shastra and all? It is nicely discussed in the Tikas. And Yachanukula Metasya, whichever supports the thoughts presented in these texts. Okay, it is not, our one lifetime is not enough to understand these Brahmavidyā only, what Rigyaja, Samatharva and other texts are. So whichever supports this particular Shastra can also be considered as Shastra, is what Atonyo Grantha Vistaro. If it goes beyond or against this particular thoughts presented by these texts, that cannot be called as Shastra. Kuvartma Tat, that is Kuvartma, the wrong path it is. Sankhyam Yoga Pashupatam Vedaranyakamevacha. He also adds some more like Sankhya, Yoga, Pashupata, which are not added in the Skanda Purana. He adds it, Sankhya, Yoga, Pashupata, Vedaranyaka. These are also can be considered as Pramana, Shastras, where we can attain the Brahmajnana. Okay, so let me go Darshana by Darshana. Purva Mimamsa and Dvaita. If we take Purva Mimamsa as one of the Darshanas, Karma Marga of Mimamsa is highly, it's a strong way, strong Marga by Mimamsakas, which is practiced by Mimamsakas. It is that this particular Karma Marga is highly appreciated by Acharya Madhva in his works. One of his works, he quotes Puru Bhungshva Nijam Niyatam Haripada Vinamra Dhiya Satatam, and so on and so forth. But we must go beyond that karma to get Brahmavidyā, is what Acharya Madhva says. It is one of the steps towards attaining Brahmavidyā, not the only path, is what Madhvacharya highlights. So the connection between karma and jnana is also very well defined in his Gita Bhashya. It is very interesting to read. And when it comes to Nyaya and Dvaita, okay, Nyaya Shastra, in Udayana's Nyaya Kusumanjali, there is one shloka, Sapekshatvat Anaditvat Vaichitryat Vidvavrittitah Pratyatmaniyamat Bhuktehe Asti Heturalaukikaha. So he, Udayanacharya, thinks we must accept the existence of Ishvara because of these reasons. He says, and okay, the Ishvara is accepted by Nyaya Darshana, but not in the way how it is defined by Vedantins. So it is, of course, Padartha, the knowledge of Padartha is what important for the Nayayikas, even for the Vaisheshikas. But as part of these many Padarthas, Paramatma is one among them. So, and also it is not, Paramatma is not given the most important status or place in Nyaya Shastra, how he is portrayed in Vedantic tradition, particularly in Madhva Bhashya. So in that way, yes, they agree that it is accepting the Paramatma. In that way, there is a samya between Nyaya and Dvaita, but of course, it is not defined in the way which is defined by the Vedantins, by the Dvaitins. That's why there is a difference with Nyaya in many other ways also. And Nyaya philosophers doesn't, they doesn't agree tamas as a separate dravya, but in Dvaita philosophy they agree tamas as a separate entity which is very real in many different Madhvacharya quotes many different occasions where tamas is proven as a real entity. So anyway, let's get into the Sankhya and Dvaita. Sankhya gives importance to Prakriti, as we all know, and Purusha is not defined in the Madhva's way. That is also there. And also the Prakriti Tattva is and Purusha is when Purusha and Prakriti is merged, then this whole world runs. Many other thoughts are not agreed by Acharya Madhva in the way it is said. Even the Nirishwara Sankhya philosophy is criticized in a beautiful manner in Bhashya text. So in this way, Acharya Madhva tries to put forward, he always give importance to the Brahma, which is Vishnu, and his Sarvaguna Paripurnatva and Sarvadosha Vivarjitatva. This is what highlighted throughout the Bhashya. So I think I will stop here, and I have to once again I congratulate INDICA Academy for its continuous commitment towards organizing such events, which is very helpful for the common people and young scholars as well. Special thanks to Nitin Mohodaya and all the technical team as well. So let me briefly discuss these concepts which I just presented in English language in my mother tongue as part of the introduction of mother tongue in the academic discussions. Actually, I claim my mother tongues as Tulu, Kannada, and Sanskrit, but let me continue with Tulu today. ಮಾತೆರೆಗಳ ಒಡಲ್ದಿಂಜಿನ ಸೊಲ್ಮೆಲು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ಯೆ ಪನ್ಪುಣ ಜಾದು ಅವು ಬೇತೆ ದರ್ಶನ ಅಂತೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಮಧ್ವೇರು ನಮ್ಮ ತವಳವೇರ ಆತಿಪುಣ ಮಧ್ವಾಚಾರ್ಯರನ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಆ ವಿಷಯ ಅಂಟು ಜಾದು ಉಂಡು ಪನ್ಪುಣ ಇನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಲ್ತೋನಿತ್ತು. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ಯೆ ಪಂಡ ಐಟ್ ಎರಡು ವಿಷಯ ಉಂಡು. ಒಂಜಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ ವಿದ್ಯೆ, ಆ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಪಂಡ್ಪುಂಡನೆ ಎರಡು ವಿಧ, ಪರಾವಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಪರಾವಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ. ಐಟ್ ಪರಾವಿದ್ಯಾ ಪಂಡನೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ಯೆ. ಅಪರಾವಿದ್ಯಾ ಪಂಡ ಆ ಪರಾವಿದ್ಯೆಯನ್ನು ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಲ್ಪರೆಗ್ ಬೋಡಾಯಿಂಚಿನ ಒಂಜಿ ಜಾದ ಋಗ್ಯಜು ಸಾಮಾಥರ್ವ ವೇದಂಕ್ಲು ಬೆತ್ತು ಐಕ್ ಬೋಡಾತಿನ ವೇದಾಂಗಂಕ್ಲು ಆಜಿ ವೇದಾಂಗ ಉಂಡು. ಶಿಕ್ಷಾ, ವ್ಯಾಕರಣ, ಛಂದಸ್, ನಿರುಕ್ತ, ಜ್ಯೋತಿಷ, ಕಲ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ ಈ ಅಂಚನೆ ಆಯುರ್ವೇದ, ಧನುರ್ವೇದ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ ಉಪಾಂಗಗಳು ಉಂಡು. ಇಂಚ ಒಂಜಿ 14 ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಥವಾ ಇತಿಹಾಸ, ಪುರಾಣ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ ಮಂತಲ ಸೇರ್ತ್ ಐಟ್ ಜಾದೋ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ್ ಪಂಡ ವಿಷ್ಣು ದೇವರೇನು ಎಂಚ ಉಪಾಸನೆ ಮಲ್ಪೊಡು, ಎಂಚ ಆಯನ ತೆರೆಯುನೋಡು ಪಣ್ಪುನೇನು ಜಾದ ಪಣ್ತೆರ ಅವೇನೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ಯೆ ಎಂದು ಪಣೋಡು. ಇತ್ತೆ ಮುಲ್ಪ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಶಬ್ದಗ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಅಂದು ಪುದಾರ ನಮಕ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಪಂಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಚತುರ್ಮುಖ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ ನೆನಪಾಪುಂಡು. ಅವು ವಿಷ್ಣುವೇನ ಅಥವಾ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮದೇವರೇನ ಉಪಾಸನೆ ಮಲ್ಪುನ್ನ. ಅವು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಶಬ್ದ ಬಣ್ಣಗ ಅವು ವಿಷ್ಣುನೇ ಪನ್ಪುನು. ಅವು ಏನು ಮಧ್ವೇರು ತಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷ್ಯಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆತು ಪಣ್ತೇರು. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಶಬ್ದಶ್ಚ ವಿಷ್ಣಾವೇವ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಶಬ್ದ ಪಣ್ಣಗ ವಿಷ್ಣುನೇ ಪಣೊಂದುಂಡು. ಆಯ್ ಅಂಚಿನ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಆನಂದಾದಿ ಗುಣಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣನಾತುಲ್ಲೆ ಅಂಚನೆ ಸರ್ವದೋಷ ವಿವರ್ಜಿತ. ವಾ ದೋಷಲಾಯಡ ಇಜ್ಜಿ ಮಾತ ಎಡ್ಡೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಆನಂದಾದಿ ಗುಣಂಕ್ಲು ಜಾದೊಂಡ ಅವೆನ್ನು ಜಿಂಜುತ ಆಯಡ ಉಂಡು. ಇಂಚಿತ್ನ ಸ್ವರೂಪಂಟೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ್ ಪಂಡ ವಿಷ್ಣುನಿ ನಮ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಲ್ಪೋಡು. ಉಂದೇನೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಮಧ್ವೇರು ಬೇತೆ ಬೇತೆ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಪಂಡ ಬಾಲವಿ ಶ್ರುತಿ ಆವಡು ಮಹಾನಾರಾಯಣ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತು ಆವಡು ಬಂದು ಬೇತೆ ಬೇತೆ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತು ಬೇತೆ ಬೇತೆ ಇತಿಹಾಸ ಗ್ರಂಥಗಳು ಪುರಾಣ ಗ್ರಂಥಗಳನ್ನು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೊಳ್ತು ಅವೆನು ಪೂರ್ವ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಶಬ್ದ ಪನ್ನಾಗ ವಿಷ್ಣುವೇ ಬೆಟ್ಟು ವಿಷ್ಣುವಿನ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಇಂಚ ಉಂಡು ಪನ್ಪುನೇನು ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಮಧ್ವೇರು ಪೊರ್ಲುಡು ಅವೆನು ನಿರೂಪಣೆ ಅಂತದೇರಿ ಬಿತ್ತು ಪಂಚ ವಿಧವಾತ್ನ ಭೇದ ವಿಷಯಲ ಮಸ್ತ್ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾತ್ನು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಯೋನೋಡು ಅಂದಾಗ ಈ ಪಂಚವೇದ ವಿಚಾರನ್ಲ ತಿಳಿಯೋನೋಡು ಬಿತ್ತು ಶ್ರವಣ ಮನನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಇಂಚ ಪ್ರಧಾನವಾತಿ ಈ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಂಪಾದನೆ ಮಲ್ಪೊಡು ಪನ್ನಾಗ ಎಂಕ್ಲೆಗ್ ಶ್ರವಣ ಮನನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಭಕ್ತಿಯೇ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾತ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಗ ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಮಧ್ವೇರು ಪನ್ಪೇರು ಬೊಕ್ಕ ಬೇತೆ ಬೇತೆ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಂಕ್ಲೆನೊಟ್ಟುಗು ಇಪ್ಪುನ ಸಾಮ್ಯ ಜಾದೋ ವೈಷಮ್ಯ ಜಾದೋ ಪನ್ಪುನ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಕಲು ಮಸ್ತ್ ಪೊರ್ಲುಡು ಅವೇನು ನಿರೂಪಣೆ ಮಲ್ತದೇರು ಬೇತೆ ಬೇತೆ ಪೂರ್ವಪಕ್ಷವಾದ ದೆತೊಂದು ಅವೇನು ಪೊರ್ಲುಡು ನಿರೂಪಣೆ ಮಲ್ತದ ಬೊಕ್ಕ ಐತೋ ಐಟಿಪ್ಪುನ ದೋಷಂಕ್ಲು ಜಾದೋ ಪಂಟ್ ತೆರಿಯೋ ಅವೇನು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆತ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಲ್ತದ ತಮ್ಮ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತ ಜಾದು ಅನ್ನುವಂತನೇನು ಭಾಷ್ಯಂತ ತೆರಿಪೋತೇರು ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಆ ಭಾಷ್ಯಂತ ಮಿಚ್ಚಿ ಪುನಃ ಟೀಕೆ ಟಿಪ್ಪಣಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪುರ ತೂರೆಕೊಂಡ ಮಸ್ತು ವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾದ ಮಸ್ತು ಎಂಕ್ಲೆಗ್ ತೆರಿಯುಂಡ ಉಂಡು ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೈ ಸೈಡ್ ಸರ್ವೇ ಭವಂತು ಸುಖಿನಃ ಸರ್ವೇ ಸಂತು ನಿರಾಮಯಾಃ ಸರ್ವೇ ಭದ್ರಾಣಿ ಪಶ್ಯಂತು ಮಾ ಕಶ್ಚಿತ್ ದುಃಖಭಾಗ್ ಭವೇತ್. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ.
Thank you, Dr. Arjun Mahadaya, for a very concise presentation of the Tattvavāda philosophy of understanding Brahmavidyā and how it differs from other Darśanas. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you.